There's an Anthony Giddens instructuration card. Good God. Okay. So, all right. So, Ernie Goffman has done trading cards. That's totally relevant to his research. Okay. Goffman viewed life as a theater. That is the idea of dramaturgical analysis. People play parts or roles. And this idea is outlined in his book, which came from his dissertation, which was called The Presentation of Self in Everyday Life. And if you look at the way he wrote that title, right? He's saying that the self is something that is presented and enacted in everyday life. He is eschewing the idea of an authentic self. You walk around disclosing authentically. He's saying rather you're acting. You're presenting yourself in some sort of manner to everybody else. And among Goffman's ideas was the following idea that people develop and maintain a shared definition of the situation. That people, again, the Thomas theorem, situations believed to be real become real in their consequences. He said that we all tend to kind of work together to maintain an intersubjective shared understanding of what's going on, be that accurate or not. Sometimes we'll get it wrong and we'll have a shared understanding of a situation that's wrong, like in the Zimbardo prison experiment. These were just normal people, but they believed they were in a prison. Can you two please be quiet? Thank you. But they had a shared definition of the situation, and that shared definition directed their behaviors and defined the appropriate ways that they would enact and present themselves in the situation. And, okay, so the shared understanding of the situation includes expectations for appropriate role behavior, and everyone sort of participates in maintaining the fluidity of situations. And so Goffman sort of thought that we all want society and social interaction to move smoothly, and that's part of why he was always breaching, right? Because when you all went out and did breaching, one of the insights you get is that it makes people uncomfortable. It breaks the social fabric, and people kind of try to restore that social fabric. Yeah. So when people screw up their roles, other players in the play try to help them recover. Just like if you're in a high school play and you forget your lines, people will jump in and say, oh, didn't you mean to say, wherefore art thou, Romeo, or whatever, and then you go, oh, yeah, wherefore art thou, Romeo. Okay, so Goffman had this idea. We have a shared definition of the situation. We all work together to sort of keep the play going smoothly, and we negotiate to try to keep a shared understanding of the situation and everybody's roles being enacted fluidly and properly. Okay, another idea of Goffman's is the distinction between front stage and backstage, which is an extension of his idea about dramaturgy. He felt that we have a front stage where we put on an act, where we do our social act for everybody else, but then we also have a backstage. And in the backstage is a bunch of stuff that's real about ourselves, things that we don't disclose to others, that we don't ever reveal in the presentation of self in everyday life, things that we don't share with others. And this was an idea, this Goffman's backstage idea was studied by an artist. The artist did Post-Secret. How many of you all are familiar with the Post-Secret project? Okay, cool. So I think the Post-Secret project is totally interesting. About half of you or more are already familiar with it, but we'll review what the Post-Secret project is here in a second. One thing I want to say is, one thing about backstage, maybe my favorite writer, Fyodor Dostoevsky, has a quote about the backstage where he says, every man has reminiscences which he would not tell to everyone but only his friends. And he has other matters in his mind which he would not reveal even to his friends but only to himself, and that in secret. But there are other things which a man is afraid to tell even to himself, and every decent man has a number of such things stored away in his mind. And this artist who did the Post-Secret project had essentially this concept in mind, that there's certain things we try not only to not reveal to others in the presentation of self in everyday life, but there's things that we try not to even reveal to ourselves. And that's what Post-Secret project was about. It started with an artist distributing postcards to people that he would then ask people to send back to him. They were addressed and stamped so they could go back to him. And they were supposed to put on these postcards secrets from their life. And one of the ideas here was that a collection of people's deepest, darkest secrets might be artistic. That's what the artist was thinking, is all, make great art from these secrets. But another idea is that perhaps disclosure of one's deep, dark secrets, even if it's just anonymously, just knowing somebody's going to read it, or maybe even just writing it down, who cares if somebody reads it, might be therapeutic. And that's an idea, this idea of self-disclosure as therapy, that we'll revisit later in the class as we read the Timothy Wilson book and do the last two essay exercises. So over time, people came to make these postcards. They tended to not just put down some deep, dark secret about themselves, but also make them into art, communicate the secret in an artistic way. And I figured we could do some examples of these because they're very interesting. So now we'll go through a few examples of the postcards that the Post-Secret artist got when he distributed these postcards and asked people for their secrets. So here's one. There's another one. So if you find these interesting, which I do, there's actually a Post-Secret exhibit that will be at the Bedford Gallery in Walnut Creek from March 1st to April 26th. So you want to Google this. I found it online. I think this is accurate, but don't drive to Walnut Creek and then they don't let you in and you're mad at me. Let's not, sorry about that. Right, there's actually a book with a collection of Post-Secret stuff, and then there's also a website online where you can see a bunch of these. But the book is better. The book has way more stuff in the online than the website does. But they're very, very interesting. And like I said, this idea of self-disclosure is possibly therapeutic is something we'll revisit later in the semester. So, oh, no kidding, yeah. Oh, okay, no wonder it's he's doing some appearances here. Okay, so yeah, so the Post-Secret guys from Berkeley, which makes sense because we're awesome here in Berkeley. So what are some other ideas of Goffman's? Another idea of his is the idea of impression management. So what is impression management? Impression management involves self-presentation and impression management is your presentation of self to others and your careful management of that appearance to others. I guess I forgot to put a careful definition down. And in the course of impression management, you do self-presentation, but you also do self-disclosure. You also reveal something about who you are, even as you manage your appearance. So there's this process of revealing personal information in the process of relationship and friendship development. And by the way, women do this more than men do, the self-disclosure part of impression management, which is a pretty reliable finding across social psychological research. And self-disclosure usually produces liking and is expected as intimacy grows. However, too much self-disclosure, I think we all know some people like this who take self-disclosure to sort of absurd lengths and maybe chill it out a little bit. Chill it out. Okay. Another related idea, talking about impression management, is tactical impression management. When you strategically try to put forward a presentation of yourself that is designed for some sort of personal ends or in order to impress other people. By the way, Goffman was very bad at this. Goffman was always breaching and stuff like that, but he also had no ability to actually act normal and behave in such a way that would increase other people's liking and esteem for him. That might happen. You might respect him or like him, supposedly, but it wouldn't be because he'd be strategically making that happen. There's a famous example that I was told by Neil Snelser, who's an emeritus professor in our department, that they had a running card game amongst the faculty in the sociology department, who at the time were all men in the early 60s, so they'd all hang out and smoke cigars. I actually don't know what they did. I know they played cards. So they would all play poker, and apparently Goffman was the one that was the worst. Like, he had no ability to play poker effectively at all. He couldn't bluff. If he had like a pair of 2s, he would just be elated, and it was just written all over his face. No ability to be like, oh, I have my high card's a 10. Like, oh my god, how will I quiet my excitement? He did not have the ability to do tactical impression management effectively. So tactical impression management is when we try to present ourselves in a false, exaggerated, or misleading way in order to get others to like us, or maybe feel sorry for us, or gain control over valued resources, or achieve some sort of material goal. So here you might think of the way that you present yourself in a job interview, or something like that, or in office hours. Just kidding. You guys don't do that at all. No, you don't. Actually. So what are examples of tactical impression management? The management of outward appearances, makeup, clothes that you wear, hairstyle, manner of speech that you affect. You maybe have one way of speaking and another one that you do when you're trying to make a really positive impression on people. I know when I go to the South, I'm from South Carolina, I'm also from the Midwest, and when I go home to the South, I speak just a little bit different than I do in the Midwest. I don't want to. I'd like to be a person with some integrity and consistency across situations. Apparently, I am not one of these people. Ingratiation. Here's an example of a method of tactical impression management. This is the use of deception to increase a target person's liking for us. And this includes opinion conformity. You can strategically agree with others, essentially use balance theory against them, right? Strategically agree with people so that they will then like you. And agreement tends to increase when the target is prestigious or admired or so on, possibly because you're more motivated to ingratiate yourself with these very prestigious or admired people. And this connotation of why it's effective, basically the reason that opinion conformity is effective for getting people to like or respect you is because it suggests to them that you like or respect them. Why else would you agree with their opinion? However, to be effective, you should intersperse occasional disagreements on trivial matters. It's a good thing. That way it doesn't look like you're purposely agreeing with everything they're saying. This is all just Machiavellian methods for how you can do tactical impression management. Okay, so you should agree with people on the important stuff, and then intersperse the occasional disagreements on totally unimportant stuff so they can't tell what's going on. Other stuff, other enhancements, which is a fancy word for flattery. You should always do this. This is big. The timing and frequency is very important. The timing must be careful so that they don't suspect that you're cleverly flattering them to gain favor with them. The frequency should be high. That's also important. Research shows it's tremendously effective. Flattery, you can go too far with it, but flattery almost always works. So remember that. But flattery, there's some research suggesting it's hard to fake, and that if you actually say stuff that's the opposite of what you internally believe, people will see through it, and they'll see that you're flattering them with clenched teeth and don't actually want to enhance. Okay, other methods of tactical impression management. Self-presentation. You should exaggerate your own desirable qualities, such as confidence, honesty, generosity. So if you may not have these, you should pretend you have them. Very, very helpful. Also, at the same time, feign modesty, which is very, you got to be very clever to pull this off. You'll need to amplify all your best characteristics without seeming as though you're amplifying your best characteristics. This is a challenge, but I think you can do it. Supplication. You can convince others that you're deserving of their help or favor by seeming inferior and essentially begging for their help or favor. This is an absolute last resort. Do not go first to this. Supplication involves belittling yourself, but it actually can be tremendously useful for eliciting other people's help. So you can, in a sense, exploit or exaggerate your own weaknesses to gain the sympathy and helping of people around you. And this invokes the social rule that you should help those who can't help themselves. So this entails a loss of respect, but perhaps a gaining of resources or help. Okay, but there's downsides to self-presentation. Self-presentation, excessive self-presentation, and impression management may be hazardous to your health. So inflated concerns about how other people perceive you is stressful and can be bad for you. It can lead to anxiety in social settings. Also, deception can be hazardous to your relationships. Excessive impression management in romantic situations can often lead to a downward spiral of insincerity, where at the bottom you find that the person you portrayed yourself to be to someone else you may like a lot is not the real person that you are, and they eventually figure it out, much like the film Wedding Crashers. By the way, did the last third of that film suck or what? You know, like they were really honest, but in the last third it just all fell apart. You know, and in the end it just didn't make sense. Okay, so this undermines trust. You know, excessive self-presentational, strategery can undermine trust. And one example of this is a marriage shift, which we'll talk about more in the relationships lecture later in the class. But that is the tendency that in long-term relationships we tend to prefer for our partners to see us for who we really are. And so maybe early in a relationship you want people to see you really positively, but in the longer term you want people to see you for who you really are. And so in that way, excessive self-presentation in a romantic setting can be very bad for you. Detecting deceptive impression management. How can you see that others are playing these very clever Goffman-like tricks on you? How can you detect other people's ulterior motives? Well, it's actually very hard to detect lying. Past research has shown detecting lying in social settings surprisingly difficult. You should look for nonverbal cues. They're more reliable than just anything else. So nonverbal cues, often the ones that do help you are not the ones who suspect, and the ones that don't help you figure out who's lying are the ones you thought would help you. So pitch of voice. When people are lying, the pitch of their voice tends to be just very slightly higher. And speech hesitation. People will sort of hesitate when they give responses when they're lying. So anytime you ever see speech hesitation, you're talking to a liar. Along the same lines, stuttering and stammering always means the person is lying. I'm joking, obviously. And if you were to ever talk to somebody who gives short answers, hesitates, and speaks in a high tone of voice, again, total like pathological liar. But note that eye contact, which most people think is a reliable indicator of lying, is unreliable. So you can't rely on eye contact. When people are avoiding eye contact with you, there's any number of reasons why that might be. Okay, so now we will hand back exams outside of class. Look for one of these 6 readers. The one that's assigned to you, it'll be outside, and I'll see you on Thursday. And go to the Grand Illusion Show. It's very important. It's going to be really fun.